welcome, welcome. So, first person you wanted to talk to, hold on. Ooh, okay, he's very sure about that. Okay, first person. Because you said you want to talk to Steve, which is totally fine. I've got some stuff from Steve written down here. First person that I want to bring up for you, because they're your primary guardian angel, and I feel like it's really important. If I'm looking this way, it's because that's where the camera is. So I'm just trying to keep eye contact. Anyways, and so you have this female who said she had a hard time walking toward the end. She passed medically. She tells me she's like a mother figure for you. She passed down jewelry, and I feel like you've seen her in a dream. She had a hard time getting around toward the end, so she was probably taken care of toward the end of her life. And oh, you're okay, cool. Okay, cool. You and Amanda are besties. Anyways, we'll keep talking. Hold on. Oh, you're so sweet. And so that's a female guardian angel. That's your primary. She just wants you to know that she's there. Okay, and then you have this Steve character, which is someone you wanted to talk to, so excuse me while I finally get around to it, right? He is telling me a couple things. One, it seemed to be something underlying that he, shoulda, woulda, coulda caught sooner. He's telling me he passed tragically, so it seems really all of a sudden coulda caught sooner, but it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda, so I really didn't see it coming. Had I known, would I gone to the, maybe, yeah, like maybe we know partial responsibility for either not seeing it or just being in the situation, not realizing it was going to end our lives. I think it kind of went like a mousetrap very, very quickly and affected our upper body and affected our ability to breathe in a tragic way and before our time. And then Michele says overdose. Well, that would explain that tragic. That would explain that partial responsibility for the situation he was in. Also, I want you to know, and maybe you already know this, but this is for him, not you, that he, takes responsibility for the addiction, but I don't believe the overdose was intentional. I just can't see that. I just want to make a little sunshine on this piece of paper. I just can't see that it was intentional. Was he responsible? Should he have known? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Sure, I'd have stopped it, said every addict ever, right? But sometimes it's just not that easy. So he wants, and she says it wasn't, so you already knew. So I had a little bit of a suspicion that you already knew, but hey, I'm glad that he was able to come through and just confirm that. So no, none of those creeping thoughts. So Steve already says that, excuse me, I don't know why I put the word already, but Steve says that we have an article of clothing, maybe a shirt, maybe we have one that, something we can't touch, and then something we have made in honor of his memory, and then I'm seeing like, it's either a little container or it's like something with his ashes in it. And so he shows me a little container. I see maybe like a fabric, something made out of his fabric, and then I see a shirt of his tucked away. So don't know who this is for you, but these are a couple things that he says. I said, how long were you addicted for? He said how long was the struggle for? Long time. I'm afraid if I do make a point, I have one in mind. Be surprised if two come with him, right? Well, they all come through. They all come through sometimes. I don't usually try to do that, but that's why you set your intention to the one you absolutely have to talk to, and then you give me a little wiggle room. You're like, I don't have anything of his. Who is Steve to you? I gotta know who Steve is to you, because he tells me he passes before his time. I gotta know. Who is he? Passed suddenly, tragically, overdose. Someone has his shirts. Gotta know. He was an ex. Is this something? Oh man, I hate to ask questions, but I just want the tea, I'm like, is this something you guys struggled with for a long time? Or is this what broke up the relationship? Regardless. And then that's why I had asked, how long have you struggled with this? And he said a long time. Just to be honest, I really like this guy. I like this guy a lot. He said I didn't have a lot, but yeah, they still have everything. So he must just be referring to his family still having everything. Everything looks untouched, and I kind of seem surprised. I kind of seem, Highland, I kind of seem surprised that everything's untouched, but he's been gone for Whew, he's been gone for quite a while. And then your grandma said she sees us in the signs. She sees us in the signs. So they say they're responsible for, like, I don't know, that perfectly timed butterfly and repeating numbers on the wall. I used to have storage. Like you used to have. What do you mean you used to have storage? Like, did you have something of his in storage? What do you mean? Details, lady. Huh. I'm like surprised that we still have it. Are you telling me there's something about storage that I didn't pick up on right off the bat? That would be very interesting. Well, hello on your lunch break, Alicia. I was going to say thanks for breaking the rules, but you didn't break the rules. You're on your lunch break. You were actually commenting how you weren't breaking the rules. Fantastic. I also feel like you still like hear that song that comes on that reminds you of him. He just keeps talking about, I was like, is it a bad batch? He goes, no, just too much. Oh, you have storage? Okay, so you have a storage unit with his stuff in? Okay, and there's that song and everything, and there's a storage unit with his stuff in it, but, oh, and I was like, and there's a shirt packed away, and there's this and that, and you had a storage unit that may have had his stuff in it, but you don't have that storage unit anymore. That makes way more sense about how we don't have that anymore, but even if you used to, listen, if you lose anything from spirit here in the physical world, and it has that value, typically it just beams back up to them. So don't think that you lost it and don't hold regret. I think a lot of those items went on to serve better purposes, and anything too valuable just kind of like boop, beams back up to them. So everything is all good with that. He loves that you did have those things, and I think he was bringing up the storage units. That's kind of funny now that I reel back to it. Do you know who that female is on the other side? She keeps telling me she was taken care of right at the end, but she ended up passing medically. She goes, everything hurts. So she's talking about like maybe her body declining, just being sore, ready to go, kind of older. Okay, your grandma, yeah, it makes sense. She loves the fact that she was taken care of. She goes, I'm just ready to go. Can you bust me out of here? She's like a old, I don't know, like she could be in a home or at her own house, and she wants to just like, they're taking too good a care of me, Kato. Just like throw me down a flight of stairs. She's absolutely just hilarious. You know that maybe that's not funny, but I think it is, because like a little old ladies to be in like, hey, throw me down that flight. Like, that's kind of like, no, ma'am, we can't do that. So that's illegal. Yeah, she wanted to go when she was 80. Did she make it? Did she make it to 80? Now I have to know how old she made it. Look at Grandma. Grandma's like, my kids are taking too good a care of me. Throw me down that stairs. 99? Oh, God. They pickled her with love. No! Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love how she was talking about how everything was super sore. She goes, she wanted to go at 80. I'm like, oh no, how long did she make it? Because she's asking me to throw her down the steps. 99. Oh, God. Well, at least, you know what? If you live to be 99, you can have whatever humor you want. And at like 89, nobody was throwing her down the steps, so she knew. Hilarious. Love her. We'll keep her. Yeah, that was fantastic. Love it.